What's up, everybody? This is Joe of SameDaySupplements.com, and today we're going over one of the biggest questions in the world, how to build muscle. And this is like a top 10 rules, or I guess you could say protocols to follow on your muscle building journey, and who doesn't want to build more muscle. So, number one, or I should say mistake one. These are some common mistakes. This is going to be an all-encompassing video. So not lifting and not lifting heavy. So let's go with the first one. This usually applies to females, but I know some males with this mindset too. They want to be in shape. They think that they could run, do cardio, maybe diet, and that they'll get the results they want, and they don't actually lift. Or if they do very little isolative movements. They don't recruit a lot of muscle fibers, and they're not generally happy with their results. So ladies, lift. You're not going to get big. Lift those compound movements, those presses, those deadlifts, those squats, albeit that you're healthy. And that will contribute to obviously an increase in muscle mass, which will actually help you lose more weight. Now, don't get thrown off by the word muscle mass. You're not going to gain mass and be massive. You're talking about microscopic muscle fibers that start to develop and be created in the body, and it makes you look a little toned, and it makes you burn more calories, so you'll lose more body fat. And not lifting heavy is another mistake. So you'll go in the gym and you'll do very lightweight, you'll do high reps, you're not really feeling the burn, and if you do, it's on a very minimal scale. So you do have to lift heavy enough to make your body recruit all the different muscle fibers so that your body has a reason to adapt to the next workout, and the next week's workout, and the next year's workout. So you do a weight that makes you fatigue at between 6 to 8 reps on your heavy days and 12 to 15 on your light days. That's like the best, very general advice that I could give you for how to structure your workout. Now, on the other token, those microscopic tears I'm just talking about, they're not being rebuilt while you're at the gym. They're only being rebuilt when you're resting. So don't go all, cowboy on your workout and do 7 days a week every week. You do need your rest. So mistake number 2, not resting. Give yourself around 2 off days a week. Sometimes you can go through an overreaching period, which means you push your body, let's say for a couple weeks in a row, you're doing just crazy amount of volume or intensity, but then you're always going to need like a deload week. Roll it back a little bit, allow your body to realize their gains. And that is nothing more but a fancy way of saying it lets your body and your nervous system kind of, I guess you could say, acclimate to the new protocols that you're following weightlifting wise and to build that muscle. So now, how to build it. So tip number 1 will be compound lifts. I kind of touched on this. So your squat, your deadlift, your bench press, your barbell overhead press, your pull up, your chin up, and your bent over rows. Those are multi-joint movements. Your elbow, your shoulder, your knees, your ankles, your hips. Those are like kind of the pivot points in your body. The more pivot points that are recruited, the better. General rule of thumb is isolative movements, like a bicep curl, the only thing that's moving is my elbow. That's it. Now, if I did, let's say, a bench press, now I have my shoulders, it's multi-joint movements. Those recruit the most muscle fibers. The more you recruit, the better the lift. So now, the weight behind those movements needs to exceed your threshold. So I kind of touched on this on mistake number 2. So tip number 2 would be the weight. Don't focus just on the pump, but rather focus on those low rep movements. Like I said, around 6 reps is a good target for your heavy days. And of course, you want sometimes where you do 1 to 3 reps. That's how you test your 1 rep max. Tip number 3, this is a big one, controlling the movement. When you do machines already control the movement for you. So that's why they're not as great as free weights for overall development of your ligaments, tendons, your supporting muscles, and the main target muscle. So when you're doing free weights, have form in mind. Control your tempo. So there's 3 parts to a tempo. Here's the starting point. How long are you going to stay here? Here's the ending point. How long are you going to stay up here? How long in time, in seconds, does it take you to get from here to here? And how long is it going to take you to get back down? So 1, 2, 3. And that is a good tempo to follow. And you could always do 1, 2, 1, 2. Like, there's different tempos that you could follow. But the point of this tip, just control it. Make sure it's not, your arms aren't frailing out. You have good form. YouTube the exercises before you do them. Take some mental notes, some mental cues, or even write it down. Tip 4. This is a huge one. Increase calories. Those microscopic tears that are going to eventually lead to an increased amount of lean muscle mass, they're not going to friggin' build themselves. You have to intake the building blocks, which is your food intake. Track your calories. Start out with a slight surplus in your caloric intake and adjust from there based on how you look, feel. I don't really care about the scale. You look in the mirror and you're happy. That's the main goal, and you could adjust it from there. But the scale is useful if you're tracking calories to a T. Then you kind of want to know what that caloric intake is doing to your body weight. Tip number 5 is eat more protein. So a general rule of thumb will be about 1 gram to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. So that is a good rule of thumb. Take your body weight, times it by 1 on the lower end, times it by 1.5 on the higher end, and that's your protein goal. Because proteins is what builds, that is what comprises of the muscle fibers themselves. So you got to have that to increase your lean muscle mass. So as you get more advanced in your lifting and your intensity goes up or your volume goes up, then your body's going to need some more time to rest. So there's active rest and there's literal rest. So make sure you're getting 8 hours of sleep. Make sure you have your off days. And then every 6 to 8 weeks, take that week in the gym to do what's called active rest, where you're just kind of going through the motions. So you're getting a little bit of a pump, but the intensity, the load is a lot less and taxing on the body during that week. That's called the deload week. And tip number 7, consistency. You have to go every day, every week, minus your rest days, to see any results. You can't do a couple of days here, take a week off, do another day here, take a week off. So get a routine that you could follow. Don't be don't fall into the pit of paralysis by analysis. Like, what should I do? What's my program? Blah, blah, blah. Do something that you could stick to, because that is going to supersede any other program out there that maybe you won't be able to follow. Tip 8, set goals. Now, this is important because you like to have little milestones. I don't care if it's increasing your bench by 10 pounds, increasing your weight by 5 pounds, increasing the length you spend in the gym, increase the or decrease the amount of time you spend talking at the gym. Just any goal you can think of mine, write them down and check them off as you accomplish them. And it makes you feel good. And that sense of accomplishment is huge to keep you going. This is a marathon, not a sprint. This is a lifestyle that should be incorporated in your routine for the rest of your life. So you want to have those nice milestones planned out. Now let's go over some supplements that help aid the muscle building process. Creatine. I already did a video on creatine. We're going to put a link down there. It's great for a lot of different things. Check out that video. Check out some creatine supplements. It should be in your arsenal of supplements. Protein and BCAAs. I did videos on those too. We'll put them below. Protein, again, to help you increase your protein intake. Branched chain amino acids to further kind of increase the amount of lean muscle mass or decrease the amount that's burned by cortisol and stress hormones. Beta-alanine reduces muscle fatigue and increases performance. HMB, it actually prevents the breakdown of muscle protein or protein in general due to, let's say, the catabolism that will occur when you're in a caloric deficit or those stress hormones come into play. Testosterone boosters are pro-hormones. These increase your testosterone levels, and that is one of the main hormones that leads to your body's ability to take the protein you're eating and turn it into the muscle fibers. Laxogenin is a plant steroid not hormonal, but it's great for recovery and joint pain. So those are the overall, if you follow that and you formulate your plan off of that, you're good to go. Now, I hope you liked this video. I hope it was informative. I hope it was motivating. Get in there, kick ass. Before you do that, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, comments, questions, reviews, leave them below. And as always, thank you for watching.